Welcome back, everyone. My name is Owen from Stiffler Podcasts, and this is episode 2. The first section is trades and signings. So Kyler Murray signs a 5-year, $250 million deal with the Arizona Cardinals with $160 million of that guaranteed, making him the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. In my opinion, quarterbacks are the most important position in football, and many other people think that is basically clear. And quarterbacks are, you need a good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Like, for example, the Rams last year with Matthew Stafford. The year before that, the Bucs, Tom Brady. The year before that, Patrick Mahomes. You really need a really good quarterback to have a chance. There's very few times in the NFL that a quarterback was not very good and their team has won the Super Bowl. If that happens, you have to have a really good defense. For example, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, they had a great defense with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. So let's get back to it. So I think he's worth the money. He's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. But it's crazy to me that he's the second highest paid quarterback. And, I think he should be a little lower than that, in my opinion. But if you want to keep a franchise quarterback around, you're going to have to give him money. This next section is the MLB draft. So, as you know, the Baltimore Orioles selected Jackson Holliday with the number 1 overall pick. They have a very great farm system, and I think this will add a great piece to their upcoming future that I think they could be title contenders in maybe 3 to 4 years with all their number 1 picks over the last few years. The number 2 overall pick was Drew Jones, a center fielder who has all-star potential, scouts say. His dad, Andrew Jones, made 5 all-star teams while having a great career in the MLB, and some people say he might be the best hitter in the draft. With the number 3 overall pick, the Rangers selected Kumar Rocker, who actually got drafted last year with the number 10 overall pick to the Mets, but he failed a test, and then they did not sign him. And then this year he played for the Valley Cats, and then he got picked by Texas for his great throwing speed, and he even got his pitch up in his miles per hour this year, supposedly. And he is probably one of the best pitchers in the draft. The next pick that I'm going to talk about, and the last, is to the Pirates, Tamar Johnson, who is one of the best hitters in the draft. And me as a Pirates fan, I'm very happy with this pick because he is probably the best hitter in the draft, which I already said. And scouts even compared him to 2 Hall of Famers, a.k.a. Wade Boggs and Vladimir Guerrero Sr.'s, back to ball skills. And he may have even gone number 1 overall in some mock drafts. The next section of this podcast is I'm going to say who I think will win every NFL division. So we're going to start with the AFC North. I think the Bengals are going to win because they did just go to the Super Bowl and lost to the Rams. And I think this is a pretty hard division, even though I think they'll still go through it pretty easily with the Ravens and Steelers and Browns. Okay, so the next division is the AFC East. So this has the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. So first, I'm just going to knock out the Jets because I don't think they'll even make the playoffs at all. And then it comes down to the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. The Patriots lost some key pieces like J.C. Jackson, so I don't think they'll win it. It's down to the Dolphins and the Bills now. And I think it's going to be the Bills because some people are even saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. And with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and a great defense, I think this team is going to go pretty far. Okay, for the AFC South, you've got the Texans, the Colts, the Titans, and the Jaguars. So the Jaguars and Texans are going to be eliminated for who's going to win the division. And it's definitely going to be between the Colts and the Titans. I think the Colts are actually going to win this division, even though this is maybe a little bit of a questionable decision, because with you got Jonathan Taylor and you got a probably better quarterback, Matt Ryan, than Carson Wentz, I think, and they got a very good O-line, and I think they're going to win this division. Okay, so now this is probably the hardest decision, the AFC West. This might be a little biased, but I think the Chiefs are going to win still, even though the Broncos, every team basically in this division, it could make it to the playoffs in any other division, basically, in my opinion. The Chargers, I think they'll probably get second. The Broncos will get third, and the Raiders will get fourth, even though they added Devontae Adams. And Derek Carr is actually a good quarterback, and in my opinion, he's pretty good up there. And the Broncos adding Russell Wilson, but they gave up so much to get him, like some of their pieces, like Noah Fant. I don't think they're going to win it. Okay, so now let's get to the NFC. So the NFC North, you've got the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. So the Bears, they struggled last year, and I don't think they're going to make it out. And the Lions, same thing. So it's down between the Packers and the Vikings. So I think the Vikings they actually have a chance to win this division with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins. That's a pretty good lineup on offense. But Green Bay, with Aaron Rodgers and their defense, it's just too good, even if they don't have the greatest weapons ever. Okay, the NFC East, my Eagles division. I think the Eagles are going to win this division, even though I'm an Eagles fan. It is going to be really close between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I'm just saying the Eagles because I'm an Eagles fan. If you're a Cowboys fan, you'll probably say the Cowboys. But I think we added A.J. Brown and a bunch of guys that are going to really help us. So now the NFC South. The Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bucks. So I think that the Falcons are probably not going to win it, and the Panthers probably aren't either. I mean, the Saints have a pretty good team, but they don't have a stable quarterback, so I'm going to have to go to the Bucks, even though I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all. Last division is the NFC West. So you got the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks are going to have any contention this year with losing Russell Wilson, but I think with all their draft capital now that they lost when they got Jamal Adams, I think they'll be better in the future. So the Seahawks aren't going to win it, and I think the Rams are going to win it still because they just won the Super Bowl. I mean, even with the Cardinals signing Kyler Murray, which keeping on their team, I still think the Rams will pretty easily get through this division. This next section is going to be a fun one. So the Bengals just revealed their new white alternative uniforms that will be used for at least one game. And I'm going to decide if I think it's a pass or a fail. So, I mean, I really like the Bengals black and orange traditional colors and their jerseys. But the Bengals white jerseys, they're clean, man. They're very slick, and I think it's a new look, but you'll have to adapt to it, but I think it's a great move by the Bengals. The last section of this podcast is that Juan Soto rejects a 15-year, $440 million deal. This shows that he probably does not want to play with the Nationals, even though some people reported that he said he wanted to stay with the Nationals, which makes no sense because why would you not accept the highest deal ever if you wanted to stay with the team? Like, that makes no sense to me. Unless you're trying to take less money, but he certainly hasn't done that. So I'm going to see, in my opinion, who he could go to. So the trade deadline is coming really close, like 10 days away. And the Yankees and Mets are saying they will not give up their top 3 prospects. So it certainly depends on if the Nationals get the right deal and get who they think is worth for Soto. Thank you for watching this episode of Stiffler Podcasts. If you'd like to check out my eBay store for sports cards, it's LSM120. No capitals. Thanks for watching again. Bye.